Good afternoon, team. In this video, I will brief you about data analysis project proposal. So, if you read this information, the main requirement of given data is we are supposed to create a proposal that helps to address or perform some kind of predictive analytics. The main requirement is 4 pages with double spaced, and a proper font should be used, and 12 size of font should be used, and minimum we have to include 3 references in the document. So this is requirement related aspect, and we will be following APA 7 guidelines. And first thing that you should notice is I have shared you some titles like this. You might get some different titles, and those titles were allocated to separate researcher. Each researcher is allocated with an individual title. So make sure that you are working on the title that is allocated to you. Now let us start understanding the document. I have sent you a sample document that clearly shows what are the important sections that we need to write to complete this data analysis project proposal. You can see that here the researcher clearly maintained APA 7 format. Numbering is given at the top of the sheet, and the template that is given to them was used. At the first, we are supposed to mention the title. What is the title of your topic, and title related some good background related information should be provided here. So for example, if you take children influence on parent purchase decisions, you should speak about what are purchase decisions, how consumers make purchase decisions, what are the different type of factors that will be influencing the purchase decisions, and how children role will be effective in parents purchase decision. The basic background details should be provided here. Then the problem statement about which we are evaluating. What is the key problem here? We want to decide whether the children will have impact on purchase decisions or not. If that problem is evaluated and appropriate results were identified, based on the results we can conclude that children will have important role in influencing parents purchase decisions, and from that we can provide some kind of strategies to attract children in the form of advertisements, or different strategies can be created to target children to make their parents influenced to purchase products. Okay, so here we are supposed to give why the problem, what is the problem and why the problem is important to address. That should be explained in problem statement. Then in aims and objectives, here considering the data that is available, we will be collecting a data set from some sources, otherwise we will be conducting a survey, and based on that we will be creating a data set. Using the data set, what we do is we will be evaluating what are the important factors that influence customers. Some important aspects from the will be generated from the data. Okay, so the main objective here is what are the what kind of work you are going to contribute as a part of completing this project should be mentioned in the form of objectives. So first thing, to understand what influences maybe customers. Next one, does children's to study about children and their role in parent decision making. So in that way you can create some kind of good objectives. Most important 2 objectives that you will be mentioning in this area is performing data analysis or data visualization and analysis to decide whether kids influence parent decisions or not. Next one is to interpret whatever the data, the results, data charts that are created, data visualization charts that are created, and providing conclusions about that selected topic. Okay, these elements, these 2 things should be very important, and they should be included in your objectives along with basic research objectives that you mentioned. Next section is methodology section. Usually data analysis methodology will be used. Data analysis methodology consists of different phases like that are mentioned here. Evaluating research needs, identifying the questions that can be asked, and creating data set. Next one, data democratization, data cleaning data. These are some of the activities that are usually used while evaluating data and presenting some kind of predictive analytics. So you should understand what is data democratization. So you say that as a part of completing this project, data democratization is conducted, and using which some XYZ activity will be done in that way. Okay, so you can give some basic details about the activity and what that activity constitutes of, based on, if you take data acquisition, as a part of data acquisition, what work we do, that should be detailed. Next part is technologies used. This is a tricky part where it is very important to mention two different tools. You can use Tableau and R, like the researcher that is used here. So R is very important. Even you can change Tableau to Power BI or some XYZ tools, but R analytics is very important. One technology that you will use is R analytics. Other technology you can decide, it is up to you. You can go for some other type of tool. Okay, so my recommendation is that you just try to write about Tableau and R analytics, and you just try to compare what they are, how effective they are, how strong they are in generating results, and how easy they are to use. So like this, some factors based on which you can compare both the technologies. Introduce about the technology, then discuss about strengths of the technology, and discuss about challenges it might experience for both the technologies. And finally, you just conclude whatever you have done, what is the purpose of the research proposal, and about in the research what kind of work you are going to do, what kind of predictions you are going to make, and how you decided to use the technologies that are mentioned above. By that, your research will be done. It is very important to include at least 3 references. Make sure that you added 3 references, and this is not in APA format. This should be updated. See, believe me, like, you should cross check when you are sending the document. Before you send the document, it is very important to cross check your document. The document should be in APA 7 format. When your references are APA 7 format, you can see there will be an indent for the reference second line. Okay, so you can see that for first line it is normal, for the second line there is an indent that is observed. If your references are in APA format, it will happen. Okay, so most of you are overlooking. I don't want you to overlook. Please make sure that your references are in APA format. That's it from my side, team. Thank you very much. If you have any questions, please ping me.